Welcome to Menopause Strong with me, Kirsty. This is our 31-day program to build strength, increase confidence, and also to build muscle tone. So today we're working on day 17, which is a core, balance, and coordination session. So we're not using any equipment for this session today, just your body. Your brain is going to get a real workout today as well with all these coordination moves. But don't worry, if balance and coordination is something you really struggle with, this session is exactly what you need. There's nothing overly complicated, but I'm going to guide you through each and every exercise. We're going to start with a warm-up. We're going to go down onto the mat for the first half of the session, and we'll be up on our feet for the second half of the session before we have a cool down right at the end. So if you're ready, let's get going. Let's get started with our warm-up today then. So we're going to start with some rotations through the core. So we're going to plant our feet nice and firmly into the ground. Hands are coming up, and we're going to rotate around and then around to the other side. Now, as you're sweeping around, I want you to start to think about your hips. Chances are they're moving around a little bit as now, which is fine right at the beginning here. But now I want you to really lock them into place and do a little twist with them locked into place, pushed forwards, and feel the difference into the core. Well done. So we're on our third day in the third week. You're doing so well to have got to this point, and whether you have done a session every single day or whether you've taken days in between, then I'm really pleased that you're still here. Take a rest. Well done. We're going to pedal our feet forwards and back. So just pedal, 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 pedal. And once you're into the groove of that and you've got the hang of it, you're going to just bring the arms up and down, arms up and down. Good. So it's just throwing you off balance just a little bit, thinking about what the feet are doing, thinking about what the arms are doing. Just try and keep your head in the same position. Imagine you're being pulled up to the ceiling. And if you're struggling with the balance at any point in this session, my best advice would be find a fixed eye gaze point, usually something that's sort of fairly on the horizon line, and just really work towards that point, and it will really help with the balance. Okay, good job. Okay, from here, we're going to do a glute kick back. So standing up nice and tall, nice deep positive in-breath. And we are going to kick the heel back and come back into standing. Kick, kick, kick. Now you can hold onto a wall, the back of the sofa, the kitchen work surface, whatever it is. You can also plant your foot down onto the mat after each rep here, or you can keep your foot floating, so you could slide a piece of paper underneath that foot and you wouldn't get a footprint on it. But either way is fine. It's just your warm-up, so you can choose what you want to do. We don't want to peak too soon. Okay, let's switch sides. So kick, kick, kick. Now the important thing here is when we're kicking back, that you're not tipping forwards at the same time. That's a different exercise. Okay, so you're just kicking back, holding onto something if you need to, keeping the tummy really nice and tight as you work through here. Well done. And take a rest. Okay, final little warm-up exercise before we get down to the mat. You're going to bring a knee up, sweep the arms up, bring them back down, knee comes down, knee comes up, sweep, down, knee comes down. The slower you do this, the harder it is, okay? Because you're really having to balance for longer. If you just go up, down like this, you're using momentum, you're bending forwards and backwards. I really want you to be nice and controlled, really precise in your movements. Good. Up, down, knee comes up, sweep, down. One more on each side. Really pushing the heel of that supporting leg into the floor. That's right. Fantastic. Well done. Okay, we're going to head down to the mat to begin this session. I'm going to get down there now. I'll see you down there. Okay, so we're going to start in an all fours position down onto the mat. We're going to draw out one arm and one leg, the opposite side, and bring the knee and the elbow together. Draw them out, bring them together. So we're working on one side here to begin with. Elbow to knee, out, elbow to knee, draw it back out again. Good. So again, nice and precise. If you need to drop down the hand and the foot at any point, then you can. But here we're working on coordination, balance and core control all in one. It's all here. 3, 2, 1. Take a little rest. Come off those wrists. Bring the backs of the hands together in reverse prayer if you need to. We're going to go over onto the other side in just a moment. So I always like to rest in the position that I'm going to be starting in if I can. So I'm nice and ready so I can take every single second out of that workout that I'm going to do. Are you ready? Let's go. Out, in, out, in, out. So we're working at a little pace here, but we're not working really super fast, because I do really want you to still maintain some precision and some control. If we're working really fast and we're using momentum, you can't really do that as well. Good. 2, 1, take a rest. Excellent. We're going to come back into a seated position and we're going to do a seated twist here with a push in the center. Again, just to try and throw your balance off a little bit. Okay, so these might feel a little bit mean, but it's all for the good of your balance and coordination. So over to the side, over to the other side, into the center and push. Side, side, center, push. Now you've got all your options for your feet. You can have your feet on the mat. You can have your feet off the mat. You can do alternate feet, or you can pedal the legs out if you want to. You can do this from a chair as well. It does not have to be onto the mat. Loads of different options for this. And if you really want a challenge, you can add a weight in as well. Good. Over, over, and push. Take a short rest. 20 seconds rest here before we go again. While you're resting, I'm going to show you what it would look like from a seated position, so I don't have to do that as a variation later. So over, over, and push, over, over, and push. There you go. Let's get ready to go again. Let's do this. Over, over, push. Again, feet on the floor if you want to or need to. Precise movements, so we're not overly reaching. Keeping that position. If you want to add a little bit of difficulty, you're going to pedal those legs out. But this exercise is hard enough because you're disrupting the flow with this stop in the middle for the overhead push. Great work, really good. 2, 1, and take a rest. Amazing. Okay, back onto your front into your bridge position. So you can do this in a full bridge position, or you can do it in a modified. You can also do this onto your raised surface. Fingertips are facing forwards. I've got my wrist stacked underneath the shoulder there. We're going to come around, eye gaze onto fingers, coming back down under control, and then switching sides. So eye gaze onto fingers. So working on a windmill here. Opening up through the chest. Good. So this is really good for the core. You're also using some coordination, balancing on less areas of contact, and the core absolutely loves it. Thrives on unstable surface work. So anything where you are slightly having to balance, take a rest. The core absolutely loves that. So it works really, really hard. I say the word love, you know, and this is like air quotation love. You know what I mean? It's really good for the core to work on an unstable surface. And by that, I mean, it has to still be a safe surface. You are creating an unstable surface. Let's go. Round we go. Good. You might see people in gyms working on wobble boards or something that looks like a gym ball that's been cut in half. It's called a bosu. They're really great for unstable surface work, but you know, you don't need any fancy equipment to really challenge the core. You can do it with just your body and a few simple balance exercises. Well done. If you do have any of that equipment though and you want to know how to use it, leave me a comment and I can give you a hand. Take a rest. Well done. You're going to come up to your feet next and we're going to do a tricky exercise in terms of balance, but you can hold on to something if you need to. We're going to come and we're going to hinge those hips. You remember the hinge when we do a deadlift? This is a single leg deadlift. So you're going to come up onto one foot, you're going to hinge through and you're going to bring one leg back. If you can, you're going to drop the hands. Coming back up again. So you're going to hinge the hip, working on one leg, leg comes back, drop the hands. If you can't drop the hands and you want to use something to balance on, then it will look exactly the same, but you're just doing a fingertip touch onto a wall or a raised surface. So hinge those hips back, hands come down in front, leg comes up behind. Good, and the slower you do this, the harder it is. You will be wobbling, that's okay. Take a short rest, well done. I did say it was a hard exercise. It is a hard exercise, but it's okay to do hard things. Okay, we did talk about that already. Let's go on to the other side. First one of these may look a little bit messy, so I would just encourage you to get that hip hinge, bring the leg back, and then bring the hands into play when you can. Coming back up, good. With all the will in the world, there will be some wobbling happening. Just keep the back nice and straight. Good. And if you're finding that you can't get that leg up behind you, don't worry, that's fine. You can just tap it down and then just do a little lift and come back in. Also totally fine. Really up to you here. Take a rest, well done. Okay, from here we're gonna do some zombie taps. So opposite hand comes to opposite foot and then switching over onto the other side. Okay, almost ready for that one. You do get a little bit more rest before we get into that. So another 5 seconds or so. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So opposite, opposite, opposite. Here we go. So there's your coordination. Here is your balance element. You're standing on one leg. And of course, as we discussed, the core loves that balance. You're doing a crunching through the abs, working the back as well, reaching over. So we're getting into the upper back. Well done. So remember those core muscles, anything that attaches to the hips, the ribs and the spine. So you've got these really big, long internal muscles that go all the way up from the hips, all the way up to the neck. Take a rest. So all of those muscles are getting a good work here, not just focusing on just the lower parts or the upper parts or the middle part, everything is getting a really good stretch. Okay, we're gonna do a single leg crunch to leg lift, one side, and then we're gonna switch. So crunch, leg lift, crunch, leg lift. Now, I'm dropping down, touch, 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 touch. But what you can do is you can do it without a touch each time. And that just makes it a little harder because again, that's your balance, it's your unstable surface. Good, well done. And at any point, if you feel that you just need to take a rest, just take a moment, then please do. Okay, these are your workouts. Take a rest. They're not my workouts, these are your workouts. I create them for you so you can adapt them if they don't quite work for you. I can't see you, so I can't tell maybe you should do this or maybe you should do that. So I'm just going to give you all the options to empower you to make those decisions for yourself. We're going to switch on to the other side. Are you ready? Let's go. So crunch and lift. Crunch and lift. Now, even somebody who's got the best balance in the world, you're going to just need to prime that brain just a little bit. So you might have to do the first couple, or at least the first one, with a little touchdown before the brain says, yep, I got the memo, I know what we're doing. We are doing balance work laterally, which is hard, by the way. Okay, so just, again, just work to your level. If you need to tap each time, that's absolutely fine. You are here, take a rest. You're doing this workout with me today. We are gonna go back and do those single leg deadlifts one more time. Okay, and I just wanna remind you that for these, you can hold on to something, okay? You don't need to get the leg all the way back if you don't want to, but we do need to hinge that hip. Okay, so you're gonna push the hips back. Are we ready to go? Push the hips back, coming down. As you're bringing that back leg down, coming back up again. Down. Now my trick for balancing is to spread out the toes, push in the heel, and really work into the arch. So I'm using my foot as a tripod, really pushing in and engaging the core at the same time. So working on engaging those foot muscles, engaging the core muscles at the same time, and all of your connective tissues will know what to do. Take a rest the more you do that. It's all about the connections between the brain and those muscles and connective tissues. Okay, so really thinking about what I'm switching on, and then it becomes second nature. The brain will do its thing. It's an amazing piece of kit you've got there. Ready to go again, let's go. So again, the first one, just work into it and come up, down. And the other thing with balance work and coordination work as well is don't overthink it. Okay, if you have a little bit of a wobble, just take a second to reset. Most of your balance comes from the core. So if you're feeling that you're not engaging the core well enough, you're rushing through, then you're not going to be able to balance well. So just really making sure that you can balance, that you're engaging that core, and take a rest. Brilliant, really well done. Good job. We're nearly through this session. We just have those zombie taps, then we've got the crunch with the lateral leg raise, and then we've got 2 exercises at the end for you, some big whole body exercises. Ready for the zombie taps though? Let's go. And then that's day number 17 done. Tomorrow we have a full body flow flexibility reset. It's a Pilates inspired workout for you. So you've got a full body workout, lots of lovely stretches in there, and it just goes from one to the next, and you choose what you want to do. Good. Well done. So you may find that you have got a little more flexibility than you used to have by day 17. You may feel no difference, take a rest, but believe me, if you've been doing these workouts all the way through, your body will be making changes and adaptations. And the most important thing to remember is change happens on the inside first. You can't always see it, but sometimes you can feel it before you see it. You just feel a little more energized. Let's go for this crunch and side leg lift. Crunch, side leg lift. Good. So you can crunch as much as you like, or if you're so focused on working on the balance, you could just bring the knee up and to the side. It's totally up to you, whatever you want to get out of this workout today. And truly, you get out what you put in. Okay, so just work to your level. If you've had a really rubbish night's sleep, you've been up, your brain woke you up, you couldn't get back to sleep, it was whirring, then don't be hard on yourself. But if you're feeling good, take a rest. Energized, ready to go, then give it some. Really give it a lot of energy, because you never know what it's going to be like tomorrow, do you? That is the beauty of this stage in life. We're going to go to the other side. Ready? Let's go. Crunch, lift, crunch and lift. Good. Brilliant. Just keep going. Brilliant. So many practical applications for good balance when you are stepping over things, climbing the stairs, climbing a ladder, maybe you're picking things up, you're putting on a pair of socks. Take a rest. Well done. So many practical applications, and it's the kind of thing that until you don't have it, you don't realize how important it was. So I'd really encourage you to just really work on this balance with me today. We're going to do some skiers now. So I want you to imagine you've got 2 ski poles in your hands. You're going to ski down to the side, you're going to switch over, and you're going to ski down on the other side. Ski, switch, ski, switch. Push that bottom back. Nice big movements on the diagonal here. So just working in a slightly different way, getting the whole body involved, arms and legs at the same time, really good into the core here. A little bit of power. And this one always makes my hair go wild. Keep going. One day maybe I'll have my own hair and makeup department, my own wardrobe department. Take a rest, well done. And they'll come in and just touch that all up for me. But until then, here I am, just in my garage, making these videos for you. We're gonna do some ice skaters next. So leg comes behind, hand comes in front of the same side. So leg comes behind, hand comes in front, and we're gonna go over to the other side. So let's go. This is big on coordination. If you wanna add a little hop in, you can. If you don't wanna do the bending over at this point, you can come up and do your side skaters instead, for standing skaters. Whichever one you're choosing to do, commit to it. Work on range, get that leg all the way back. Good. Don't overthink it, remember. Otherwise it all goes a bit wrong. Take a rest, well done. One more skiers, one more ice skaters, cool down, and then day number 17 is done. Okay, nearly ready for those skiers. I do love these big full body exercises. They make me feel really energized. Ready? Let's go. Ski, ski. Good. Excellent. Push that bottom back. As you come down, bring the arms down by the sides. Little step over. Now the reason that this is a good little exercise is this constant change of direction is really good for the brain and also for foot and ankle strength. We've talked about it before, it won't be the last time. It's good to know a little bit of foot and ankle strength. Take a rest. Again, another thing that you don't want to have to know when that doesn't work anymore. So your feet and your ankles are so important. We use them every single day. We don't even think about them. We don't even train them, except for if you're in these sessions, and I'll always add a little bit in for the old feet and ankles. Let's go. Here it is. Good. So think about those tummy muscles. Are they nice and tight? Good. You are doing so well. Day number 17, not to be underestimated. Keep it going. I will be here for you tomorrow, just as I was yesterday. Every day together for 31 days, 2, 1. Take a rest. Brilliant work today. Bring the feet out to the side. Just give yourself a little second. Just give yourself a little wiggle. Brilliant. Okay. I'm going to drop the hands down on the inside of the knees, just pushing out the inside of the knees with the back of your hands or the back of your wrist there. Windmilling around, eye gazes on fingers, coming back down, around, back down, stand. Good. Let's go again. Down, round. I'm still pushing out with the arm that's still onto my knee. So just opening those hips up, coming back up. One more. Down. And we're not rushing at this point here. This is the cool down. We're trying to bring the heart rate, take a rest, back down to resting level or as near to it as possible, okay? Just trying to dissipate all of that adrenaline, cortisol, let it ebb away. Okay, from here, we're just gonna do a forwards hold and we're just gonna hang down. So chest, chin to chest, round we go. You're just gonna hang and then you're just gonna pedal. I'm keeping my feet flat on the floor, but I'm just going from one knee to the other. Good. Hand coming up, nice and slow, leading with the shoulders, round they come. One more, chin comes down, rolling forwards, hang, shifting the weight one side to the other, push, push, push. And back up to standing. Thank you so much for joining me today. Day number 18 is tomorrow. Like I said, we're working on a full body flexibility reset before we jump into day number 19 again. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this session as much as I did and that you are starting to feel the value of adding that balance, coordination and core work into your plan. Make sure that you have liked the video, you subscribed to the channel, and if you'd like to leave me a comment, I would love to hear from you. I read every single comment. I may not be able to reply the same day, but I read them all and I reply to all of them. Okay, so please do leave me a comment. And all that remains to say is that if you'd like to support the channel more directly, you can do that. You can have a little click into the session description where you can find out more about the different tiers of membership that are available. Each tier comes with its own level of perks, from the lowest tier all the way to the highest tier, which is only $4.99, and you get exclusive sessions at that tier. So if you would like to help to support the channel, maybe help me get my own hair and makeup team, you never know. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow for day number 18. Bye.